Hey guys, spring is here and in full swing, and for me, one of my favorite beauty items in the spring is blush because I just find that it has such a fresh effect to the skin. Like for me, spring is like that vision of a girl frolicking through a field of flowers with like rosy cheeks and just that very fresh, colorful feel to me. So today I'm going to share with you 5 of my favorite blushes for spring with an honorable mention. So let's get into it. All right, so my first one, I'm not gonna spend a ton of time on. I know I've talked about it before. It's been in my favorites videos, and that is ColourPop's I Need Space. This is the collab with Kathleen Lights. You guys, I just think that this is such a nice blush for spring because it has a beautiful, like muted, neutral mauve to it. And I like the sheen on it. If you guys can see here, I love that it really has this like skin effect to it. It's not too shiny, like it's not, doesn't have glitter or anything in it, and it's not fully matte. So it really just has a beautiful fresh effect to the cheek. It really goes with anything, so it's a great one to be able to pull out when you don't want to think too much about pairing your blush with anything, and I truly do love it. I will, by the way, give you a close-up of my arm swatches at the end of this video so you can see everything up close as well. All right, guys, so the second one, you shouldn't be surprised by the brand either. I know I've talked about Hourglass blushes a lot. This is the Ambient Strobe Lighting Blush in Incandescent Electra. Now, the one thing that I will say about these Hourglass blushes is they don't really swatch very well, but they do turn out beautifully on the skin. You can see you'll have some veining, so you want to make sure to really like swirl your blush throughout. These will definitely give you a bit more of a luminous flush, and like I said, they really don't look that great on the skin, you know, as a swatch, but once you get them on the cheeks, they just melt into the skin and look so pretty. So this Incandescent Electra is like a cooler peach, so it really just has that like pinched cheek look. I love cooler pinks, so for me this is just that perfect, almost like pastel-y tone that really gives that nice fresh feel. I wonder how many times I'm going to end up saying fresh in this video, but that to me is just the epitome of spring makeup. It's, you know, we're tipping towards summer, maybe we'll get into a little bit of color, but it's still, you know, that very wearable, youthful feel. So if anybody wants to count and let me know, I'm sure fresh is going to come up a lot. So I wanted to make sure to include one fully matte blush for those of you that don't like any sheen to your skin products. This is the Milani Powder Blush in the shade Coral Cove. This is one of the brighter shades that I've picked out for today, but this matte blush really gives a beautiful, like, I almost said fresh look. I really need to come up with a different word than fresh. Let's go with youthful and vibrant. So this has a little bit more pigment to it, and you'll see that I am a true lover of like coral and peach blushes, but this is still in a very wearable realm. It's not in that, like if you look at it in the pan, it's to me not that like hot summer coral. It's still in a very like spring feel. So love this one. You get a lot of powder in here for the price. All right, if you have been watching my channel for a while, you'll know that I love, love, love cream blushes. So I wanted to make sure to include a couple in here. And while I've been dabbling with a lot of different cream blushes, I wanted to only include ones that I've had and used for a long time. There are a lot of new ones on the market that I do really enjoy, but I wanted to give you ones that I know that I've had for a long time and really truly do enjoy and use. So first off is the Flower Blush Balm in Nectar. This is definitely one of my all-time favorite creams. This color is so nice because it is, again, one of those colors that you can wear with anything. You can pair it with, you know, a brighter lip. You can pair it with a smoky eye. You can, you know, really go anywhere with it. It's got this, now obviously it's going to look much more intense because it's cream, but it's, I would say, like a nudie peach tone. So you're going to get a little bit of color, but it's not going to be like bam. And if you're new to cream blush, this is definitely a formula and color that I would recommend because it does blend out really beautifully into the skin. For most of my cream blushes, I recommend putting it on your hand and then using a damp beauty blender to tap it into the skin. That's going to shear out the color a little bit because of the dampness of your sponge, but also it just helps the blending go really nicely. The other way that you can use it if you want a little bit more pigment is to just use a nice stippling brush. So that's one tip. The other color that I've chosen is the Nude Stix Nudies in Sweet Peach Peony. This is a little like sample guide that I got in a set from Ulta. This is, again, I would say a little bit peach, but it definitely has a bit more pink to it. And you'll see it next to that Flower Beauty shade. This really has a beautiful finish to it. It dries down, but it's not like super matte. It has a nice glow to it. So I really love this. These Nude Stix products you can also use as a multi-stick on eyes or lips as well. This would also make a very pretty lip color. In the beginning of this video, I said that I have an honorable mention, and I do because I have only used this once. It's actually the blush that's on my cheeks, but I automatically fell in love with it, and that is the Ofra Cosmetics collab with Samantha March in Chicklet, and this is a duo blush. You've got a shimmer shade over here and a matte shade. So this really can be 3 blushes in one. You could use each individually and then swirl them together. I'll go ahead and show you swatches. This matte shade is, and I will say, even though it is matte, these colors are incredibly creamy. Actually, it looks like the tone of this is almost like the tone in that Hourglass one. It just doesn't have the sheen. You guys will be able to see that here. And then the shimmer blush is a beautiful, like, dusty rose shade. So if you can see here, you've got the mix of the two, and then you have the shimmer shade and the matte. So the shimmer is actually almost like a little bit deeper of a tone, so it intensifies the color a little bit. So this matte part of the Samantha March has the same like tonal undertone as the Hourglass Incandescent Electra shades. So I hope you guys don't mind me sneaking that one in on the end, but truly, if you can get this guy, I think that it's going to be such a beautiful blush for this spring, and I could see, you know, packing it on a little bit more into the summer. It's going to be so nice to have. I've been so impressed with it, and I wanted to include it at the end of this video because even though I've only worn it once, I can already tell that it's going to be a favorite in my collection this season. All right, guys, that's it for my favorite spring blushes. I'll give you guys an up close of the swatches so you can check them out. Let me know if I missed one of your favorite spring blushes. Just leave a comment below. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Happy spring, and I will see you really soon.